Hello everyone, I am CoolGuy. Welcome back. I have to be kind of quiet. My wife's sleeping and it's kind of dark in here, but I need to go through my vault. So I thought that we could look into my vault and we're going to get rid of some weapons. I'm also going to show you guys some rolls that I keep. And we can talk about this upcoming update on Tuesday, the Age of Triumph, man. I'm so excited. I got big things planned. Real quick before we get into the vault video, I'm going to start doing a weekly reset for the vendor roll. So I'm going to wake up early and try to get these done. I have my schedule cleaned out for the next month and a half, so hopefully on Tuesday, by the time you guys wake up, we will have all the vendor weapons and rolls. And what I plan on doing is doing like a top 3 out of all these rolls, or a top 5, or definite must-gets. And before Friday, of the top weapon or 2, I'll do a live gameplay commentary of it. That way you guys can decide if you want to pick it up with your marks before the weekend. So I'm really excited, but let's jump on into this. And some of the weapons that I've kept have been well over a year and a half, or a year. My wife's coughing in the background. And some weapons I kept for a certain reason, looking for something a little bit better. Like an example is I got Take a Knee right here on this party favor, but I'm going to end up dismantling it because I wanted a range with Take a Knee. So I kind of sorted it out. We have all my pulse rifles, so let's go through them real quick. I had this Hawk Saw before the vendor one. Or right when the vendor came out. It's high caliber rounds, counterbalance, hand laid with the 28. I mean, it's just a really good roll. But the deal is I like that vendor roll so much, so we're gonna get rid of that one. The waltz, I've only kept one waltz. Between the waltz, the clever, the grasp, this one didn't get affected by the ammo economy, and it has the big thing for me. I have to have sure shot on these weapons, man. I like the sure shot a lot. But this one's sure shot, small bore, counterbalance, so we're gonna keep this one. It's really good. Then we have my old 5.5A all fates. We have 2 of them. We're gonna keep one. And just Battle Runner on a primary, man. You don't see it too often. It's really fun. Battle Runner hidden hand laid stock. It's got the ORS and the True Sight. Just a really fun gun. But the other one is Outlaw Reactive Reload with hand laid stock. So we're gonna keep that one. We're gonna get rid of this guy. Let's go ahead and back out and get those because we're just dismantling as we go. So the deal with the pulse rifles, man. And we're gonna talk about some of the things. I haven't really made any videos on some of the changes that they're making. Low key, the pulse rifles kind of got an indirect buff because if you think about these hand cannon 3 meter nerf, it's not that much, but if auto rifles are getting buffed and they're going to be playing that space a little bit better, beyond 27 meters up to the 38-40, pulse rifles are going to be pretty good. So I plan on keeping a lot of these. This party favor we're going to get rid of. As a matter of fact, let's just go through these. This one is Rodeo Head Seeker with small bore or rifled, really good roll. But the deal with the party favor, man, is it's just got what you can get on it. The only thing I really want is Take a Knee because everything else that it has, what kills it is the 24 rounds, the magazine, and Hawk Saw, etc., just kind of really demolishes it as far as what you can get and what you have. And we have that vendor Hawk Saw, so really Clever Dragon. We have one with hand laid and Head Seeker, high caliber rounds. I'm gonna keep this one. The other one was the vendor counterbalance one. So we're just gonna get rid of that. The grasp, I had like 6 grasps, all with counterbalance. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one because I like the ORES counterbalance combo, just to keep this weapon. I like that grasp. The villainy. Perfect perk synergy. It's something that you want because we have 24 rounds because it's knocked down because of brace frame. So max stability, counterbalance, glass half full. So 3 bursts in, you start getting the glass half full, start getting that extra damage. Really love this gun, and hopefully it can see some usage with the next update. Nerwin's Mercy, the vendor one. I mean, again, so good. Brace frame, feeding frenzy, counterbalance. We're gonna keep this one. Counterbalance and stability, it's a little redundant, but on certain weapons, counterbalance is needed, and it really helps the Nerwins out. Apple of Discord, man, God, I haven't used these things in a long time. This one's full auto, and Head Seeker. This one is full auto counter. They both have hand loaded for a little extra, so we're gonna get rid of this bad boy. Next, we're gonna be talking about the high impact. I really like where the high impact pulse rifles are. I mean, you guys have seen my spare change in that video. So I bought the vendor Parthian shot, and it's nice that they're doing vendor resets, so hopefully I can get one that I really want. I didn't really like this one, man. A lot of you guys told me to get it. The spare change outranges it, and really it's hard to get a good roll on a spare change nowadays. but I'm going to be looking for a counterbalance one with a high stability. I'm not sure. Maybe Brace can get it to max. Let me know. I haven't really looked too much into the Parthian shot, but not a big fan of it, unfortunately, at this moment. The Smite Moraine, I'm going to keep it. I love pulse rifles, and it has Firefly, so we're going to keep that. The OG Hopscotch Pilgrim, the #1 weapon in my vault that I love to death. Outlaw, reactive, hand-laid. Love this thing to death, so it's staying. It's going to stay for many years to come. We have the other All Fate, and we have the Edict, which we are going to get rid of because we're getting a brand new one. And these raids, man, I started thinking of all these primaries that are coming back with the burn and just how fun it's going to be with weapon usage. Of course, I'm more really excited about the specials like the foil, etc., etc. There's the Hawksaw, Vendor Hawksaw. Spare Change, I love this thing. Hand-laid, Feeding Frenzy, counterbalance with the ORES. It's a monster. Party Favor, counterbalance, Rodeo. But I mean, the more and more I looked at these things, man, do we have any more? I'm not a big fan, so I'm just gonna get rid of them. I'm just gonna be looking strictly for a take a knee one with some good secondary and last perks. The PDX-45, I just really like the way the full auto one handles, and I know there's a couple of you guys out there that have this exact one. It has a little bit of a weird recoil direction. It kind of pops up and to the left, but in 6s, I really like a full auto, like PDX Hawksaw if you can get it. This one works out fine in 6s. I don't really like it in 3s and trials, etc., etc. So that one stays. We're gonna be moving on to auto rifles, and again, so it did so much more, and I'm gonna talk about this. That 3-meter range nerf. A lot of people's like, oh, it's not too much. Why are people crying? I mean, when all this came out, I didn't really form too much of an opinion because 3 meters is that much, guys, but it means a lot for a lot of different things. So 3 meters from, let's say, we'll just do a rounded number 30. Say it's 30 meters with rifled, right? I think the Jez had a nice picture graphic of this. Since it brings it down to 27, without rifled, it's 24, right? And rangefinder is going to bring that 30 to like 31 or 32. Maybe 33. I haven't checked them in a long time. But here's the deal. That's that archetype. So there's a range cap of 62. So if you take like an Ill Will, if you take the First Curse, they cap out at 62 as well. Why do you, I mean, they're bringing those in. Those are nerfed. So you're telling me a hand cannon that hits for 95 to the head now hits 27? Does that make sense? Like everything else? Honestly, those high impact should have like a range cap of 75 just to be competitive. It even worse when you take, let's go ahead and take this Water Star. I mean, this thing is really good for what it is, but without reinforce or without a range perk, you're bringing those in 3 meters into that AR range, they're gonna get dominated. So it really hurt the high impact and it really hurt the low impact. Basically, that 3 meter nerf was for the Palindrome. It was for the IS Luna, and I don't really agree with that necessarily. So we're gonna get on to auto rifles. We have the 0-day dilemma, and I got 3 of these bad boys. One's 2 are close and or personal, really good perk, okay? Especially when people are, right now are running with sidearms, and later on we got so you get it doesn't really work with more Warlock melees, but 25% more bonus damage after landing a hit with this weapon. So we have small bore, close and or with hidden hand, and I'm probably gonna keep one of these. This is the one I've been using. It's gonna be more stability, so close and or persistence and hand laid. So we're gonna get rid of the other one. And the last one that I have is Battle Runner, and I'm keeping it for Battle Runner. I just really like the Battle Runner perk. Let me know if you guys have any of these ARs with close and or personal, and how do you like them? I have a couple Grim Citizens that I've been keeping because we don't really know how good they're going to be, and I'm not excited anymore, okay? Auto rifles have been buffed in increments so many times, but it kind of falls down to the Doctrine's really the best one of the bunch, and we don't know really where it's going to stand. This archetype, I love this archetype. It's that middle one with the Righteous and the AR-41. I'm going to keep the Righteous. It's just perfect role for this archetype. Nice magazine of 43, perfect balance, reinforced, counterbalance. But 1 week they have the AR-41. This is the same archetype. It is hammer forged, rifled, counterbalance. And if you were to compare the two, the AR-41 has a little bit more range and stability than the Righteous 7. So pretty excited to start using these. Hopefully that they're decent, man. It sounds like it will. It sounds like it will. They're bringing a little bit more balance in that, I would say 19 meter or 15 to 25 meter range. I think you're gonna see a lot of ARs, and it's map appropriate. It's like the Doctrine could become very strong again. These could be very strong, we don't know. We have a Red Spectre, same archetype. It's counterbalance crowd control. Fun little weapon. I'm gonna keep that one. Grim Citizen. I think I might have 2 of them. No, just this one. It is counterbalance hot swap. We're gonna hold reserve until we know. For the people, it was a vendor weapon, and I just love this thing. I'm gonna keep it. I haven't really gotten rid of stuff so far, but we will later. Persistence, glass half, perfect balance, fun weapon, dude. I bring this thing out every now and then. Hopefully it'll be used more. The hatchet, rangefinder counter, it's good. I'm gonna get rid of this vision stone. Not a big fan. So much other weapons in that archetype, like the Righteous, do it better. Doctrine, you gotta keep that. You gotta keep the Doctrine of Passing. Genesis Chain, we're gonna keep it, hold reserve. We're gonna go ahead and move on to Scout Rifles. And again, with the Scout Rifles, some of these that I keep, they're kind of, like I said, we're looking for something very particular on them. So some of them I might have 1 perk, or not a full set for, you know, the quote God roll. We have a max stability, just 43 with counterbalance. We're gonna get rid of it. We have the Dogma, right? Hung Jury, I'm gonna keep it just because this thing to this day still rips. You can go triple tap, extended, and Firefly. You can go hand laid stock for PvP. Just a good, well-versed weapon, good roll. I will continue to use this thing and bring it out. We have a crowd control, and before I got the Dogma, this was my PvP or PvE weapon. Reactive reload crowd, good roll. Near max stability 43 with full auto. That's why we got rid of the other one. We're gonna keep that. 2 Coal Advances, right? So we have reactive reload Icarus, and then we have the hidden hand crowd from the vendor. So we're gonna get rid of this one. Now they did up in air accuracy, and I've noticed Icarus helps out even more to make it a little bit more potent. But these high impacts, really, they have very low aim assist. So hidden hand's a pretty good perk on them. They have very low inherent aim assist because they're so good at range. We have the Burning Eye. We're gonna get rid of it again. The archetype is run by different weapons that I think handle it a little bit better. Now it does have explosive rounds, so that can be good, but not so much. I wasn't a big fan of it. I tried using it in PvP. Didn't like it. I'm sorry. To be honest, the blind is probably the best, I mean, out of that whole section in Trials. Let's go ahead and get into some more scouts. Distant Star, we have a couple of them. Full auto Icarus, full auto hidden hand. So we're gonna go and get rid of the Icarus one. And as you can see, I'm kind of, this one does have full auto or high cows. But the hidden hand one is gonna help you a lot more. Like I said, scout rifles, their aim assist is on the lower end. They can be high, like the Might, I believe, has a pretty good aim assist. Angel's Advocate, it's not as good as the Vendor, right? That Vendor is outlaw reactive reload. Very good gun. Some of these pain me, right? Some of these pain me. Oh, I'm out of marks. Let's see, you know what? Let's go ahead and buy something real quick. I'm not worried about it. We'll get more marks before reset. Let's see what they have. That exotic right there is my Jade Rabbit, by the way. The Continental. So this is another auto rifle that can roll with up close and or personal. And the dream is up close or take a knee. I mean, there's so much that can run. We're gonna look at it real quick. Battle Runner and Third Eye with braced. It has high inherent range for Battle Runner. We're gonna keep it. I'm gonna try it out. We're gonna try it out. As a matter of fact, I'll make a video on it. I like that. So we're cutting on down. We've gotten 20 out of the way. Disc 47 near max ability. I wasn't a fan of this thing. I mean, I want it max if I do continue working with it. The deal with those with these high impact ones, man, they can be good, but it's very dependent on flinching somebody. And I've noticed with this one, even though it has near max, like I've seen Mesa Sean's max ability one, I've seen other people with max ability. That's not a huge difference, but it's enough to keep your shots on track if you're getting flinched by a hand cannon or something else like that. So, I mean, I had decent success with it, but not too much. We're gonna store this bad boy, or keep it. And we'll put something else back in the vault. But another thing about this, let's go ahead and just get rid of these so we can take more in. I'm gonna get rid of that Vex too, because we're gonna get a new Vex. I think we're going on into hand cannons and specials next, which that one's pretty fun. That's my bread and butter. The Badger, this one has Zen Moment Grenadier. I liked this for PvP, I really do. But then again, you know, compared to the Colavance, so the reason I'm gonna keep it, and now that I'm thinking about it, compared to the Colavance, it has a lot more stability. It's a lot better at range. Well, I don't know. Yeah, let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of it. Tuonela, I've been harping this thing since it came out. What it can do is it can get the 100% stability with the range, right? So it has the IS-6, the Spark, or the Torch, which are both good sights for this one. We have Firefly, so it has some PvE elements too, but this thing shoots like a laser. And Replenish, not too worried about it. This is one of those things that you go for 2 out of 3 instead of 3 out of 3. It's these two right here. I like these two together. It's just satisfying getting Firefly kills. Tuonela is a fun gun. One of my favorite weapons in the game. What do we got here? Outlaw, Reactive, Advocate. We're gonna stay. So we're getting into the hand cannons. I'm not gonna get rid of this Imago Loop until I get the new Fatebringer, because this thing was envied by all my friends. It's of course the Fatebringer roll, and low key on the Imago Loop, I use all my keys on Imago Loops, just because of the archetype. This has the highest inherent base range out of the palindrome, all of them. Let's go ahead and take away the stability. So small bore is decent right here, but if you were to get rifle just to max that out, it can compete. It has good recoil direction. Everything's kind of good on it. So I've been waiting for a good PvP roll out of the chests. IS Luna. We're gonna get rid of this one. It's funny, there's gonna be a lot of hand cannons in here that you guys would like that I'm getting ready to dismantle. Reinforced, Relentless, Luck in the Chamber. But actually, you know what, before I delete it, let me make sure that I don't have any other max range Luck in the Chamber hand cannon. I don't mind Relentless Tracker, it's a good little perk. That could be on the chopping block. Byronic Hero, we did a live gameplay on this one. Rifled Barrel, range, Luck in the Chamber. And you know what? We're gonna go with the Byronic over this IS Luna. Good night. Probably the best hand cannon that I have. Rifled, rangefinder, reactive reload. It doesn't have sure shot, but that doesn't matter. This is key, guys. This is so huge with this right here. And then reactive reload can proc, and it does proc, and you can do some real work with it. Probably the best hand cannon that I do have, aside from the Finales Peril. We have the Vendor Palindrome. We're gonna hold on to this one just because it's a different flavor, right? These have different recoil directions. We're gonna hold on to this one until the vendor brings us another rangefinder rifled one. And be on the lookout for that. Okay, so this one is range, Luck in the Chamber with Hammer Forged. It was almost the dream. It was almost the dream, ladies and gentlemen. It does have sure shot. We're gonna get rid of it, and that might pain some of you. But we already have this Byronic Hero, and I'm okay with, even though it's lacking in range, Rangefinder does get it up to and around cap. Technically, the IS Luna is going to be a little bit longer, but that's okay. Not too worried about it. Let's go ahead and get some more marks as we're going. Nope, we're holding on to you. That's right. Almost did something really bad right there. Now we're going to get into a batch of a lot of lingering songs, and we're just going to look at the rolls to see why I kept them. This was more of, we're hitting max, we're hitting cap at 62. We're gonna get more shots with hidden hand, but we're gonna get rid of it. This archetype is nerfed now. It is 100% nerfed now. Let's see this one. This one is high caliber, rifled with range. We're gonna get rid of it. This is the one that we're keeping. The perfect is Feather Mag right here. Feather Mag brace to bring it down to 4 with luck. This is the best I could do. It's only 6 rounds. But we get a lot of stability with braced, and that's okay. It doesn't hit, you can hit cap, right? But we're okay with what we're doing with this, a hard thumper at close range. So that's the one that we're gonna keep. Move on to the second page. Let's see why we kept this one. It was Feather Mag to bring it down with range, or Firefly. I think I kept it because of Firefly. But we're gonna get rid of it. And this one is luck. A small bore. It has a little bit more stability. It might hit cap. That's tough. And explosive rounds or hand lane. We're gonna get rid of it. I know. Oh, we need to make some room. So the raids, right? I think it's so good for the game. And honestly, with this update, the Age of Triumph, what they're doing, guys, is they're trying not to touch this game anymore. They're done with this game because they've been working on Destiny 2. They're going to be hyping Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is going to be at E3, etc., etc. They want this game to be in a spot to where you have something to do, and it might be a time. And as they're hyping this, you can, hopefully people come back or get drawn to the game. Some of your friends that left say, you know what? I'm trying to convince a couple. This is the time. Like, if you want to go into Destiny 2, if Destiny 2 looks good, right now Destiny is probably in the best place it has been because of all the content that you can do every week. So I think that's what they're doing. So we're gonna get rid of this lingering. Fever and Remedy, top 5 guns in the game. Love this thing. I can't wait for the adept version of the Fever and Remedy, and I hope that it's void damage. I think that'd be pretty cool. The Ufrin. Let's see what we got. It's Luck in the Chamber rifled. I mean, we're gonna keep it just to see how it does. We start getting into some other crazy ones. The Water Star, I'm gonna keep it because in its archetype, we discussed it, highest base range with rifled and range. Like, that's it. If I'm gonna hold reserve, we're gonna see how it does during the update, but it's probably on the chopping block. This is a small bore Luck in the Chamber Icarus, and I love it on my Hunter with the bones of AO, but we're gonna get rid of it. We're getting into sniper rifles. All right, so we're on 2 secondary. So this LDR, the only reason I'm keeping this thing is because I only got this thing like 2 months ago. I had always been looking for an LDR because this is my favorite sniper rifle in the game, with double down Field Scout mulligan. And it's a true testament of why you hold on to weapons, because a lot of people were looking for Hidden Hand when it came out on Benevolence. A lot of people were looking for Final Round. But I saw this thing with double down Field Scout, and back before this update, before the nerf, I mean, it's still spawning with 18 rounds. Like, what a lot of people thought as trash, I saw some treasure. And when I used to play Iron Bandit, even like when, they did so many special ammo changes, this thing always came on top, having 3 times more sniper ammunition than any other sniper that anybody else used. So we're gonna go ahead and keep that. That's why we're keeping this LDR. The Waylarn's March, I'm gonna keep it because as far as this archetype goes, the reason why I like the Waylarn's March is because we have unflinching with max stability. And you can just 2-tap somebody to the body, boom, boom, real quick. And I'm honestly gonna start bringing it back out because I thought about it the other day, especially with rotating these boxes, just going box to box, starving ammo, and then double bodying people with it to use the ammo and keep on going. Devil's Dawn, as far as the high impact goes, I like the Devil's Dawn more than the Event Horizon because I like the sight. I mean, that's a big thing. Feel of a weapon is a big thing for a lot of players, and I like the feel of the Devil's Dawn. We have a Laughing Heart that we're going to get rid of. I kept this longbow, let's see why. I like Taxus, it's because of Taxus and Snapshot, and Mulligan, and Grenadier. I mean, that's a really good PvP role. I mean, of course you're going to be looking for, primarily your Hidden Hand, Snapshot, Quick Draw, etc., etc. But as far as usage goes, if you think about this weapon, Mulligan procs a lot. I'm pretty sure you guys have been seeing it on an Icebreaker. My LDR used to proc every other shot. So with what little ammo you would get with the longbow, you would be getting stuff back. When you got kills, it would help out your grenade. Just a decent roll. I think that's why I kept it, but now's the time to get rids. Laughing Heart, we're just going to get rid of all these. I've used it a couple times. Not a huge fan of them. Especially with Icebreaker out now. And it's funny because I was looking at Hamrick's Twitter, Josh Hamrick, and somebody was concerned about the Icebreaker and how it's getting ready to be. And he's like, you know what, the Icebreaker's good, but it isn't my first choice. I wouldn't take Icebreaker over blah, blah, blah. But the issue with that is, well, the Icebreaker has ammo. Like, it doesn't matter if you would choose, like, I would prefer my year 1 LDR over anything else, but I can't bring it up. But then we would use this LDR, but why would we use that when we're constantly looking for boxes and you don't have to with the Icebreaker? And the Icebreaker is really good with its range and aim assist. Like, It's a no-brainer. Of course, you would want to use some other ones, but overall, we're going Icebreaker. The Machinima. This is the other high impact I like. That's why we don't have any event horizons. Really good for the raid, and it's a decent PvP. Steel Piercer. We're getting on into the fusion rifles. The X-Astris. I use this thing like a shotgun, but it's time to get rid of it. Hip fire, rifled barrel, or you can go max stability or close. I mean, that it can go with braced and counterbalance. I used it like a shotgun, and it was fairly decent, but there are other and better options. Each new day. This is the vendor one, and a lot of these vendor ones, like the party favor, which we got rid of all of them. And this one, we're getting rid of because their potential is going to be on these weekly reset rolls. And I kept this one because of unflinching hot swap. Unflinching does work. It doesn't work as well. I don't know why they nerfed it. I mean, especially when some of the like Clever Dragon and all that was just so good with flinching people. I don't know why they nerfed unflinching, and it really hurt the Red Death. That was one of the strong things about Red Death with its high cal unflinching. The foil, it stays put until we get another one. This is going to be the best fusion in the game. And yes, I'm calling that over Telesto. I'm calling that over Plan C. Just because of the glass half full reactive reload, 4 burns in Nightfall, and if you guys can imagine, if you were to get, you know, a box or 2 last match of Trials, and you were to get a kill and reload, and you're guaranteed a kill with the reactive reload fusion. Like, I am very excited about a year 2 Praetorian foil. We're almost down. We almost cut a page out. How many is that? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. It's better than I thought. I mean, the reason I'm keeping a couple, of course, is nostalgia. Certain things like a pulse rifle with Firefly. We're gonna move on to the Ash Raven's Flight. Rescue Mag, dude. Rescue Mag braced Grenadier. Love this thing. We're gonna keep it. The Wizard, I think I kept just for the 400-ness of it, but we're gonna be getting a lot more. The Saladin's Vigil. Here's the deal with fusion rifles. Aside from the foil, the base stats of the Saladin's Vigil is the best you can get. It's simple. And this is the one, I don't know, if you guys go on my Twitter, it's pinned. Twitter.com/IamCoolGuyYT. I'll put it in the description. So it'll be the very first thing. I got one of the deepest fusion rifle shots you'll ever see. It's because of this one. It was a perfect pull down, and if you look at the stream of projectiles, it is one fluent. It looks like a sniper bullet going at the guy. All the projectiles are grouped together into one line like a pencil, and it's deep. This one's small bore, enhanced battery, rangefinder. Right, so we get a little bit of range, we get a little bit of stability, and then we have rangefinder. So won't be getting rid of that. The Vacancy, again, max stability, rangefinder, we're keeping that. So we only have 4 legendary fusion rifles. This is the Wormwood that I use. We talked about it. I like it because of Zen hipfire. It's good for close, it's good for far and keeping shots, and it's good because of hot swap. Binding Blaze, reactive reload. This is a hidden hand Binding Blaze that I didn't know that I had. Oh, it has reactive reload as well. But reactive reload got a nerf, okay? Because there's not that much ammo, right, on sidearms. A lot of perks that are just kind of passive got nerfed on special, like spray and play on a special weapon. Like, I mean, I guess so. Maybe picking, no, it got a nerf because when you pick up the box now, it immediately goes in. There's no reloading. So if you have a spray and play sniper rifle, it's almost worthless unless you're going to get a second box. So a lot of perks kind of got nerfed in that fashion. This is the vendor teacup, the trusty teacup. We're gonna get rid of that one. We'll get rid of that one. The Susanoo made its way in. It's kind of out of order, but you know, we're gonna keep it. It's cool. Then we're gonna get into shotguns. We're gonna get rid of a lot of these because a lot of them are double of what I have, and I kept it just so I play a lot of PvP, as you guys know. Oh, I actually locked that teacup. I actually locked that Binding Blaze. As you can see, I have a Quantaplasm on. I'm a big fan of the Quantaplasm. So let's get into these bad boys. So we have rangefinder, performance bonus, and a lot of you guys are gonna get jealous of some of these. With the extra range, it has aggressives. This is it, right? But this kind of got nerfed, as we know. So we're gonna keep that one, obviously. Let's look at this Matador. This one's full auto crowd with reinforced and aggressives. I've never used a full auto Matador, so that's the only reason I kept it, and that's why I'm gonna hold reserve.
Year 1 comedian. All right, so we're gonna get rid of it. I've had this thing since early days of Destiny. When you put Field Scout on this comedian, and back then, all of them shot like a shot package felt winner. Like, they were so deep. The deal with this one is it had 7 rounds in the magazine, and it functioned like a shot package felt winner. Like, you didn't really need anything else. I loved this thing. And spray and play, you know, because you had 30 rounds in reserve, you know, first month of Destiny. So good, but I think its time in the vault has come to an end, unfortunately. Found Verdict, we're going to get rid of it because we will be getting another Found Verdict. Proud Spire, I'm going to keep it just for leveling up because I've kind of gotten rid of some 400s. Now this last ditch is interesting. This is my PvE last ditch. Because check this out. We have Field Choke, right? Little extra damage. Not really worried about aggressives, but we have extended mag to go up to 6 rounds. Surrounded and crowd control. So check this out. What I do is say there's like a group of, I don't know, Vex, right? Say there's a group of Vex and then there's a Minotaur. So it's void damage, right? So the Minotaurs are void. When all of them are around me, I do more damage because of Surrounded. This is one of the rare occasions that Surrounded's actually a thing. So I'll kill a Vex, get crowd control, and then I will start thumping down that Minotaur. Like, I love this thing. And be looking out for this similar roll on a shotgun, and hopefully one comes up in the vendor reset, because you're not really worried about range and impact too much in PvE, but these extra damage bonuses are a thing. Like, it does a lot of damage with these two. With Surrounded and Crowd together, you can down it very quickly. So love that last ditch. I don't really have one for PvP, and the big draw with the last ditch is quick draw. So we have the Fell Winter. We're gonna get rid of it. I've had this thing for a long time, just like everyone else has, but there's no use. I'm ready to end that chapter. This one rolled with knee pad. I mean, it's everything you want. Well, actually, I put on quick draw. I made a quick draw one. Quick draw crowd knee pads. You've seen those all the time. Let's get all these marks back. Get rid of the comedian, dude. Sucks. Get rid of the Found Verdict. It sucks, but we're getting Ascendant energies. The Astrus, and we're keeping that Matador. We're getting rid of this Lingering Song, getting rid of this Icarus, Luck in the Chamber, Palindrome. So we're nearing the end, okay? And we've cleared spaces almost for the new weapons, right? And I'm gonna go through this. If you guys see a roll or something that you don't agree with, tell me to get rid of it, right? So, I mean, we're going through this live, and now all I did was set it up to where they're kind of grouped together, right? The sniper rifles, etc., but it's kind of a first instinct deal. So this is the same as the other perk, but instead of crowd, we have performance bonus with aggressive reinforced. So actually, it might be the same one. Like, I have so many of these. Yeah, it's the opposite. Let's go ahead and put it on just to make sure. Just to make sure. Yeah, so it's the opposite. This one's rangefinder performance. The other one's crowd performance. So it's the same exact rolls. Pretty cool. I'm going to keep them both. Oh, never mind. We already went over that one. Party Crasher, I'm keeping it. It's a different flavor. This one does have Army of One. It's reinforced aggressives. So it's basically keeping the high impact, but we're changing around a couple perks on the outside. And Army of One's a really good rumble. This one, 2 to the Morgue, okay. Rescue Mag, Rifled Barrel, Underdog. I enjoy it, but it's time to get rid of it. We're going to keep this Quantaplasm because it's a different burn. This Matador we're going to keep. Now, this Curtain Call I just got. This one is performance bonus, reinforced, or quick draw. I mean, it's another big draw to it. It's quick draw. And then we have we don't have any ballistics for it, but these two are pretty big. And this thing with rifled could do some damage. I'm going to try it out. Curtain Call I heard good things about. LMGs, the Materia is a monster. The Chaotic Neutral, we're going to get rid of it because with this particular roll, Unflinching Counter, I have on everything. Bone Crusher we're going to get rid of. Hidden Hand Counter for the Zombie Apocalypse. We spec for range, we're going to keep it. I just got rid of my first ever legendary weapon in the game was a zombie apocalypse with reactive reload. And my first ever, I'm gonna get rid of this, and my first ever exotic was a universal remote that I've since gotten rid of. So there's another Bone Crusher that's unflinching, counterbalance, and then the Baron's Ambition, the best LMG in my opinion for time to kill and our bullet time to kill reserve. We spec for range with counterbalance and rangefinder. I love this thing. And then all my exotics I've kept on all my characters, so you guys don't see those. But that's gonna be it, man. That was just kind of a quick look in my vault and what I held on to, why I held on to it. And we made some tough decisions, but we freed up a lot of space. And as we get more weapons, this is my first initial cleanse of 2017, but we almost got it down. Just we can get rid of some, like maybe one of these 0 days, but at one point I plan on using these, and I do use a lot of different weapons, you guys know that, and maybe the Apple Discord will never even see the light of day, right? But as far as high impact goes, we kept a couple of each one. As far as snipers go, each one has their place to me, like the LDR being an LDR, the 2-tap Whalerins, the high impact with the sight, the high impact with the reload perk for PvE. So there's reasons why I kept certain ones, and a lot of these hand cannons are probably going to go too, maybe the Ufrin. I gotta see how it handles, right, in the current meta with the auto rifles. Kept a couple of these sidearms, kept a couple of the shotguns. Some are PvE specific, some are PvP specific, so that's why I kept them. Let me know your top things in your vault, why you kept them, maybe some year 1 weapons, and be looking out for my weekly reset PvP roll video with all the vendor weapons. There's about 40 of them, so we're gonna get through them as quick as we can. And I knew that this would take some time. I think we're gonna be around 40 minutes, but that's okay. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Good luck this week. Get some raid teams together. I think this is gonna be one of the best times Destiny has to offer, in my personal opinion, and I can't wait. So until the next one, I'm CoolGuy.